Long time no see. While my son is cooperating with me, we are going to review the movie Hustle. Here we go. So in terms of overall structure, there isn't much story-wise that separates this movie from your typical underdog sports story. And in this case, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it doesn't need to separate itself. The performances carry this movie from beginning to end. Again, not in a negative way. If you remove comedies from Adam Sandler's resume, the string of dramas that he chooses to do are outstanding. Personal favorites being Punch Drunk Love, you got Uncut Gems, and now you have Hustle. Does his performance in this eclipse what he did in Uncut Gems? No. I still think that's his best performance ever. His work in this is ridiculous. Specifically the relationship that he builds with the main character, played by Juancho Hernan Gomez. I probably just butchered that name. Sorry. Having not heard of this guy, I didn't know how him and Sandler were going to play off of each other, but he fills his shoes really quickly, and the chemistry between those two, or the friendship really, is felt almost instantly. I mean, you have very slow, paced out conversations between them, you have workout montages, a bunch of different mediums for them to interact with each other, and every single chance they get, they just knock it out of the park. I kept getting this sense throughout the film that everything just seemed a little more real and grounded than you're used to from one of these stories. And similar to The Way Back that came out in 2019? 2020? There's a connection between the lead actor and the story being told. In The Way Back, it was Ben Affleck with alcoholism, and here you just have Ben Affleck. You have Adam Sandler and his love for basketball. The emotions and the stakes feel real because they are. He really loves basketball. He cares for the sport that much, especially recently in the last couple years. I've constantly seen videos of him at local basketball courts, playing pickup games with random strangers. Like, he doesn't do this shit to get publicity. He just does it for the love of the game. The runtime is about 1 hour and 58 minutes, and depending on who you are, that could seem like, you know, a bit of a stretch, but it's necessary for this film. It starts in one place and it ends in a completely different place, and I think for the film to mature and grow and blossom in the right way, you have to have that runtime. You have to have the moments where there's high intensity sequences, fast cuts, and then you have to have your moments where things are dialed back a little bit, characters are taking their time to develop, converse, you get to learn more about them. It's all part of just building the story in the best way possible. I think this film would appeal to people that aren't even fans of basketball. If you just want to watch basically a love letter from an A-lister to a sport they love, this has all the ingredients. One thing that I appreciated was that it focuses on the play and the actual game of basketball, but there's just as much happening off court as there is on the court. Since Adam Sandler's a scout, you get a bunch of travel sequences, seeing how a scout actually works, how they sleep, how their day-to-day life is. A little bit of behind the scenes that gets into the, I guess the politics of basketball, you can label it, but a lot of people tend to shy away when sports movies do that. They don't like how it gets all analytic. I personally love it, especially not being big into basketball really at all. It's important for me to see that side of things because it makes what happens on the court more relevant. It makes more sense. It's not just a game. Also, last thing, Ben Foster is in this, and he plays, I'm not going to say who he plays because some might consider it a spoiler. I don't want my reviews to be spoiler at all. The character that he plays, he does it too well. Like, when you're an actor and you can act like a dick, but I genuinely feel like you're a dick, I don't know, maybe it's just really easy to play a bad guy. That could just be me. But I thought he did exceptionally well in this. And then you have your 50 cameos from people in the NBA world. You have all your color commentators, you have former players, agents, things like that. Which is cool for people that are invested in the NBA because you get to see a lot of familiar faces. Love or hate basketball, I think this is worth a watch. I think it's a lot to get invested into. And as long as Adam Sandler keeps selecting projects like this, I'm just gonna keep watching them. Not to say that his comedic work isn't worthy of being watched, but this is more in my lane. For comedy, I tend to steer myself in other directions. If you have Netflix, check it out. I got some more reviews coming up soon. I have 4 that I've written outlines for. I just have to get it on film. So keep an eye out on my pages on all platforms over the next week or so. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.